Hey, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. I'll be getting started at the top of the hour, and man, Mount St. Helens, up close and personal for the very first time. You're frightening. Mount Adams nearby, it's pretty frightening too. Spirit Lake is nearby, we're going to check that out. I wish I had our camping utility. There's a wetland we're going to be looking at. Of course, the bad guys are going to get a chance to roll to see if they cause any mayhem today. And we'll be getting the audio tours from Bushtalk. So stick around. Episode 285 of Skydude, top of the hour. If you have any pre-show questions or anything like that, if I am not subscribed to you, please go into the chat room and say hello. Hi, drop an emoji, anything. And that will make 3 dots appear next to your name. And I can easily click on that and choose Go to Channel. And I can immediately go to your channel and subscribe. And that saves a lot of time. If you end up subscribing to me, I have to wait for YouTube to process it, and it could be a while. And then I have to go look and see who's subscribed to me. And then I have to follow back. This way we just take care of it right away. Alright, cool. Looks like the little teaser clips I'm putting together are playing just fine in the intro page. I was like, you gotta show them what you're gonna do, like in the first 30 seconds. Oh my god, that requires recording video and stuff. This is a live stream. Yeah, but you've got to get people interested. Okay, alright. You want to be popular, don't you? You want to be one of us, don't you? I appreciate the constructive criticism. I really do. I really, really do. I asked for it. So, when I seek it and when it is given, I must try to pay attention. You know what I haven't looked up today? I haven't looked up the top 10 best places to eat in Portland. Get my coffee here. Cheers. The last cup of Christine's coffee for the day. It's always so darn good. And then I've got normal house duties to do today. We all have normal house duties that we have to do. I have mine to do and then some because I've kind of been putting it off and my room's a little bit messy. I need to dust in here. Organize my desk a little bit better. Other than that, it's pretty tidy. I'm not going to show you. Yeah. You're going to have to trust me. Big thank you to Henning and Hans and Vestry and Luca and Rent-A-Cow and who am I forgetting? Ed. And we haven't seen Wayne in a while. I've been wondering, I've been wanting Wayne to come back. And Paul. Blanche. I doubt Blanche ever tunes in, but Blanche, if you ever tune in, thanks. Did you watch the season finale of Daredevil last night? I heard there's a new NVIDIA driver out today, but I had so much going on, I'll have to check that at the end after the show. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Danielle. Who else do I need to thank today? The Almighty, of course. Everybody on X and Twitter that I follow. It's going to take me forever to go over thanking each one individually. So everybody on X, Twitter, to William Shatner and Henry Winkler. How you doing? Big thanks. Big love. So if you're looking at this and going, what is this? It is the Skydude live stream. And it started out as a, I wanted to do a career mode series. And I started out with Neofly and have been tracking my exploits, working my way up the career ladder. And then with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, still doing that now that we have career mode here. So I'm continuing my journey to become Kineas the Skydude. Now, everybody's got a nemesis or a nemesis, and I've got some, so you've been seeing the Random Failures app pop up there, and that's for the bad guys. Also, just some days I'm like, stuff happens. Let's just roll and see if stuff happens. I've also got, you see up on the screen, some Dungeons & Dragons D&D dice roller up in the upper corner. So we need that for rolling and determining random failures, but I also use it for role-playing. So if we happen to stumble upon a cool golf course, a stadium, I like doing sporting matches, us against the local team. And if you're tuned in, while I'm doing that, I get a plus to my dice rolls for every viewer that I have tuned in to give us a better chance of winning. So please, I encourage you to stick around or stay logged in so I get my pluses. Help me win these challenges. And they're based on D&D 5th edition rules for the difficulty class. All right. All right, let's stop. No, stop. All right, top of the hour. Okay, so we're gonna start off the day right off the bat. We're gonna be doing some career stuff. We're now in the Portland, Oregon vicinity, and Mount St. Helens is nearby, so we're gonna go check that out. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to roll for the bad guys and see if they're going to cause any mayhem today. So let me get a D10. So anything over an 8, and the bad guys aren't successful doing anything today. So they got a 4. All right. So they might be causing some mayhem. So let's see what we have. 2, 3, 4. Something in our panel could fail. Let me get a D20. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The one at the very bottom, a pitot indicator failure. Now that I don't know if that could be devastating, really, or not. Grab a D100 and roll the percentage, 79%. Okay. And start it. And open the fail list and see if anything's failed. Aileron trimmer stuck. That's from yesterday. So I have to go back out and stop. What was it? Pitot indicator. So that pitot indicator did fail. But we have to turn off the aileron trimmer stuck. Clear that out. Okay. All right, so the bad guys are taken care of, and they have started a sabotage procedure, and it's kicked in before we even get out to the airfield. Somebody has managed to sneak up on our plane and do something nefarious. All right. Okay. So yesterday we were in near Walla Walla, and we didn't go to Walla Walla. We ended up here at Kennewick. But using a combination of fast flight, which we discovered yesterday, and we've opened up these jobs over here now near Portland. Okay. And then right off the bat, when I was zooming in here at Portland, I'm like, oh, cool. Portland's going to have all kinds of things for us to look at today and things that we can check out. At least a couple of good things. And then I looked up here, St. Helens. Oh, you mean like Mount St. Helens, the volcano that blew up and caused total destruction and total devastation? Yeah, that one. Now, you saw some clips of it coming in. And before we pick a job, I do want to take you over there and show it to you. And am I not allowed developer mode in career mode? Really? So with developer mode, I can just teleport there and just immediately take you there. Bum, 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 bum. I believe that's it up here. And then is that Spirit Lake back behind it? Oh no, that's it over here. Well, if I take off from here and take this job, I can just delay it and we can go over there. Sorry, that at this point I figured we could I still have developer mode. I could take you right to it. Well then pardon me a moment. Give me 1 minute and we'll still try to do this quick. I really kind of want to get the good stuff out of the way and don't want to keep you hanging, to watch the whole darn flight if that's what you just want to see. You want to see Mount St. Helens and some of the other attractions. Okay, so back to the main menu. And if we go to free flight, there we go. Now I've got my developer screen back up at the top. So I can understand why they don't want you to have it in career mode. So it won't take me but a moment to grab the coordinates, and I'll show you a cool trick if you don't know how to do this already. How to teleport. You can also use this when planning. So if you open Bing Maps and you find a location that you want, you right-click on the Bing Map screen, you can get coordinates to copy and paste. Okay, so if I put up here in departure, if I click in there and I paste the coordinates I just got from Bing, then bang, right here. So let's put us just a little bit out and on the approach. And I might slew us a bit. It's tall. So the first time I spawned in to check it out and get the cover art, yada, 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 I'm like, oh my, I'm flying right at it. So, yeah, we are pulling up. Easy. Now that's a real on-Earth monster. I mean, you know, we talk about like Godzilla and King Kong. I mean, nothing matches the mass destruction power. Few things match the mass destructive power of something like this. And let me pop out here. So yeah, I don't recall visiting this in my 2020 adventures. And when I popped in here the first time, it was like shock and awe. You know, I'd heard about it. I didn't really, I think, fully understand how big the thing was and how horrible. I mean, the people around ultimately did basically a good job. Most people had, you know, didn't live right nearby the thing. But as far as the total destruction that this thing caused, total devastation, horrible. Yeah, and look how high up we are. And then we're going to go visit that one in just a moment. That one over there is also a volcano. What? I mean, it just makes these ones out here look like little babies. If this isn't awe-inspiring enough, I mean, look at all the lava flows down there. Just the weather in general. If you're tuning in, you're like, hey, it's some nice clouds. The magnitude of what you're looking at, of what we're looking at, still blows my mind. This is all real-world live weather. So the computer is not making any of this up. This is, it is simulating what Meteo Blue is providing as far as a worldwide real-time weather data, and it visualizes it. And it's just been getting better and better and better and better. Anyway, let's get back to looking at this thing. Pull the camera back. Horrible. All right. So just me saying horrible does nothing. Let me go to Bushtalk and get you the audio for that. See, I had planned to fly over it and have it all kick in and run all professionally, and no, I managed to screw it up. There we are.
Mount St. Helens is an active stratovolcano located in Skamania County, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. It is 50 miles northeast of Portland, Oregon, and 96 miles south of Seattle, Washington. Mount St. Helens takes its English name from the British diplomat Lord St. Helens, a friend of explorer George Vancouver who made a survey of the area in the late 18th century. The volcano is located in the Cascade Range and is part of the Cascade Volcanic Arc, a segment of the Pacific Ring of Fire that includes over 160 active volcanoes. This volcano is well known for its ash explosions and pyroclastic flows. Mount St. Helens is most notorious for its major eruption on May 18, 1980, the deadliest and most economically destructive volcanic event in U.S. history. 57 people were killed, 250 homes, 47 bridges, 15 miles of railways, and 185 miles of highway were destroyed. A massive debris avalanche, triggered by an earthquake of magnitude 5.1, caused a lateral eruption that reduced the elevation of the mountain's summit from 9,677 feet to 8,363 feet, leaving a 1-mile-wide horseshoe-shaped crater. The debris avalanche was up to 0.7 cubic miles in volume. The Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument was created to preserve the volcano and allow for the eruption's aftermath to be scientifically studied. As with most other volcanoes in the Cascade Range, Mount St. Helens is a large eruptive cone consisting of lava rock interlayered with ash, pumice, and other deposits. The mountain includes layers of basalt and andesite through which several domes of dacite lava have erupted. The largest of the dacite domes formed the previous summit, and off its northern flank sat the smaller Goat Rocks dome. Both were destroyed in the 1980 eruption.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So that's not the only entry here. There is one more. I really wish they would work on the interface for Bushtalk a little bit more. It's kind of tough to click things that I want.
On March 27, 1980, a series of volcanic explosions and pyroclastic flows began at Mount St. Helens in Skamania County, Washington, United States. A series of phreatic blasts occurred from the summit and escalated until a major explosive eruption took place on May 18, 1980. The eruption, which had a volcanic explosivity index of 5, was the most significant to occur in the contiguous United States since the much smaller 1915 eruption of Lassen Peak in California. It has often been declared the most disastrous volcanic eruption in U.S. history. The eruption was preceded by a 2-month series of earthquakes and steam venting episodes caused by an injection of magma at shallow depth below the volcano that created a large bulge and a fracture system on the mountain's north slope. An earthquake at 8:32 and 11 seconds AM PDT on Sunday, May 18, 1980 caused the entire weakened north face to slide away, creating the largest landslide in recorded history. This allowed the partly molten rock, rich in high-pressure gas and steam, to suddenly explode northward towards Spirit Lake in a hot mix of lava and pulverized rock, overtaking
you're kidding me.
the slide. An eruption column rose 80,000 feet into the atmosphere and deposited ash in 11 U.S. states and 2 Canadian provinces. At the same time, snow, ice, and several entire glaciers on the volcano melted, forming a series of large lahars that reached as far as the Columbia River, nearly 50 miles to the southwest. Less severe outbursts continued into the next day, only to be followed by other large, but not as destructive, eruptions later that year. Thermal energy released during the eruption was equal to 26 megatons of TNT. About 57 people were killed, including innkeeper and World War I veteran Harry Truman, photographers Reed Blackburn and Robert Landsberg, and geologist David A. Johnston. Hundreds of square miles were reduced to wasteland, causing over $1 billion in damage, thousands of animals were killed, and Mount St. Helens was left with a crater on its north side. At the time of the eruption, the summit of the volcano was owned by the Burlington Northern Railroad, but afterward, the railroad donated the land to the United States Forest Service. The area was later preserved in the Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument.
Yeah, pretty heavy stuff. Sorry about the camera glitches. Oh man, it was way more horrible than I remembered. I was a young kid. young kid when that took place, and I just heard it was bad. And hearing the actual destruction of all the bridges and highways and the homes and the loss of life. Surprisingly, though, that again, that number, as horrible as it is, it's pretty low. So, you know, bridges and roads and everything else, fine. The largest landslide and explosion in history, and it all came out this way. That's why I came over to the lake here that they mentioned. This is Spirit Lake. All right. So now another one that, and I don't know much about this one, but it's supposedly just as freaky. It's called Adams Mountain. Now there's one also. Yeah. Okay, I've got the right one. There's also Mount Adams in like near Salt Lake. All right. So up here, tools, teleport. Now I've got coordinates in there. So I showed you how to do it from the main page, but once you're in here with the developer console, delete that there. Go latitude and longitude. While it's loading in, let me check the chat room. Nobody's popped in yet, but hello. You do.
Pull up. Pull up.
Where's my camera? Okay. Everything's so wide I can't see anything. My gosh, look at the jaggies on that side. Holy moly. That's right out of like Tolkien. That's frightening. Oh, let me get the audio for this.
Mount Adams, known by some Native American tribes as Pato or Klickitat, is a potentially active stratovolcano in the Cascade Range. Although Adams has not erupted in more than 1,000 years, it is not considered extinct. It is the second highest mountain in Washington, after Mount Rainier. Adams, named for President John Adams, is a member of the Cascade Volcanic Arc, and is one of the Arcade's largest volcanoes, located in a remote wilderness approximately 34 miles east of Mount St. Helens. The Mount Adams wilderness consists of the upper and western part of the volcano's cone. The eastern side.
I want to pause right there and have you take a good look at that. What is the similarity between that and Mount St. Helens? In the past, this thing did explode, and it did the exact same thing in a northern direction. So what causes it to blow on only one side? If there's two volcanoes right next to each other, and they both blow, but they all both blow towards the north. What is that all about? But looking at that, yeah, this erupted. The sides look intact, but it blew all of this out. And you can see where it flowed.
Side of the mountain is designated as part of the territory of the Yakama Nation. Adams' asymmetrical and broad body rises 1.5 miles above the Cascade crest. Its nearly flat summit was formed as a result of cone-building eruptions from separated vents. The Pacific Crest Trail traverses the western flank of the mountain.
That's pretty nuts, my friends. The Earth, she's a scary, scary thing. Healthy respect for Ma Nature. Wow. Okay, the only other thing I really wanted to show you, it's not that important too. I think we'll get a job over there. It's a wetland area. I was just looking for other areas that could be interesting to you. Why don't I do some role playing around one of these volcanoes? But that doesn't seem appropriate in some way. There seems to be a temporary issue with the server managing the career mode. We will return to the main menu and restore this game mode once the issue is resolved. So it's telling me we ain't doing that, Jack. Okay, so we'll just keep looking at Portland stuff. Loon Creek. Okay, so there's Portland. Okay. What's that popping up over here? So this wetland preserve is right here. Let me double check. Portland. Yeah. Near Portland International Airport. Okay, yeah. Where's the airport? Let me find the airport and then I'll know right where I'm at. There's the airport right there. "23 minutes after the hour." That's 3 minutes after the 20-minute mark. It's always 4:20 somewhere. Okay.
Smith and Bybee Wetlands Natural Area is a public park and nature reserve between the Columbia Slough and the Columbia River in
Slough,
Oregon. At about 2,000 acres, it is one of the largest urban freshwater wetlands in the United States. Metro, the regional government for the Oregon part of the Portland metropolitan area, manages the park. A covered shelter, restrooms, a paved walkway, and a canoe launch lie on the north side of the natural area. Although surrounded by port terminals, warehouses, and commercial areas, Smith and Bybee Wetlands Natural Area provides habitat for a wide variety of wildlife including beaver, bald eagles and western painted turtle.
Are you gonna crash?
An artificial water control system helps keep the wetlands wet. Other systems collect methane and prevent leaching from a closed landfill near the south edge of the park.
Okay. Sorry about that. The autopilot didn't kick in.
The Interstate Bridge, also Columbia River Interstate Bridge, I-5 Bridge, Portland.
That's strange looking.
Interstate Bridge, Vancouver Portland Bridge is a pair of nearly identical steel.
They're just not fully realized.
Through truss bridges that carry Interstate 5 traffic over the Columbia River between Vancouver, Washington, and Portland, Oregon in the United States. The present-day northbound bridge opened to traffic in 1917 as a single bridge carrying two-way traffic. A second twin bridge, which carries southbound traffic, opened in 1958. The twin bridges are each over 3,500 feet long and carry 3 lanes of traffic. The bridges handle a combined 130,000 vehicles daily.
Dang.
It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1982 as the Portland-Vancouver Highway Bridge.
Now, if you'll pardon me, I was so busy trying to get my plane into autopilot. I should have done it first, of course. That I didn't really get to enjoy the audio tour for the wetland here.
Smith and Bybee Wetlands Natural Area is a public park and nature reserve between the Columbia Slough and the Columbia River in Portland, Oregon. At about 2,000 acres, it is one of the largest urban freshwater wetlands in the United States. Metro, the regional government for the Oregon part of the Portland metropolitan area, manages the park. A covered shelter, restrooms, a paved walkway, and a canoe launch lie on the north side of the natural area. Although surrounded by port terminals, warehouses, and commercial areas, Smith and Bybee Wetlands Natural Area provides habitat for a wide variety of wildlife including beaver, bald eagles and western painted turtles. An artificial water control system helps keep the wetlands wet. Other systems collect methane and prevent leaching from a closed landfill near the south edge of the park.
That's interesting. An artificial creation helps keep the waters filtered, is basically that's kind of what I got from it. Right next to that, it says in the same area that we're looking, let's see what this is. Nemelquinir. So right here, right on this actually it says it's this area right here down below us. All of this area. It seems to be indicating.
Nemelquinir was a Native American settlement inhabited by a band of Chinookan peoples on the east bank of the Willamette River near what is now the St. John's neighborhood of Portland, Oregon in the United States, about 2 miles upstream of where the Willamette River enters the Columbia River. When encountered by the Lewis and Clark expedition in April 1806, it was reported to have one large longhouse, a few smaller ones, and a population between 100 and 200 people. People dwelling near Willamette Falls upstream would come here to gather Wapato roots. The term Nemelquinir may have also been applied to the inhabitants of this location.
That's some interesting history. Vancouver Shipyard. Okay, so behind us and beyond the bridges we were just looking at, and let me get the drone up to speed again. I wish it would just hold whatever settings you set it at. Don't you? Does that bother you too? I can't be the only one. It's the little things, you know? So yeah, saying right beyond those bridges and before the airport are shipyards. That's a lovely looking little resort down there, right? El Jefe? Oh my gosh. El Jefe. What is El Jefe? The boss. Quite interesting, I think. Everything is a conspiracy to me, though. Everything. Okay, we can make that bridge out a lot better now. You can actually see all the trusses. Another airport on this side. So what is this? Let me see. I see it now. Pearson Field. We don't have audio tours for this. Asphalt runway, and it says Autogen. Okay, so the shipyards. I wonder if it's all mostly decommissioned, because normally what I imagine in my head is, yeah, kind of like what you're seeing out there, like a destroyed crane. Lots and lots of cranes. But let's see what it has to say here.
The Vancouver Shipyard was an emergency shipyard constructed along the Columbia River in Vancouver, Washington, to help meet the production demands of the U.S. Maritime Commission in World War II. The shipyard was one of 3 Kaiser shipyards in the Pacific Northwest, along with the Oregon Shipbuilding Corporation and the Swan Island Shipyard across the Columbia in Portland, Oregon. The Vancouver yard began production in early 1942 and totaled nearly 200 acres. It produced vessels of 5 different types, with Casablanca-class escort carriers being its biggest production line.
Very nice. If I turn directly around, straight across from us is a place called
Dignity Village is a city-recognized legal encampment of an estimated 60 homeless people in Portland, Oregon, United States. In the days before Christmas of 2000, a group of transients in Portland established a tent city. It evolved from a group of self-described outsiders squatting a city-owned land to a self-regulating, city-recognized campground as defined by Portland City Code. The encampment is located on a land near Portland International Airport and has elected community officials and constructed crude but functional cooking, social, electric, and sanitary facilities.
That looks like it, but it also looks like pier. So I don't know if the water level on the map is right or wrong, but this kind of seems to fit what they're talking about. But that just all looks like covered pier. But here's the airport. Could be a little bit over here more, or that could be it. That looks like a little, doesn't look like a tent city. Right next to a golf course. If I was going to have live in a tent, a little tent city, I'd want to be next to a fancy golf course too. Let me just do a quick little scan here. If you're just tuning in, the career mode is currently down. And so we're not going to be doing any of that right at the moment. But we do have a golf course here. And speaking of golf courses, and it's lovely. How about a round of golf, us versus their local pros? And here's the clubhouse where we'll have to hook up here. Okay. So it's going to be us versus their local team. And they've got a really nice golf course. So we're going to make this a little bit difficult on us. This is going to be a difficulty class 15. So I need to roll a 15 or better for us to win this. And now, if there's anybody out there that's tuned in, we'll get pluses. So let me look over here. No, we had one viewer though earlier, but I can't do that. I can't cheat. Nobody's tuned in for me. So let me grab a D20 and over a 15. A 1, a total failure. Not only that, in Dungeons and Dragons, when you roll a 1, it's a fumble. So you make a total buffoon out of yourself, or whatever you can imagine. Something horrible happens. Doesn't have to be, just something, the worst case scenario. I guess it could be horrible. So yeah, you win some, you lose some, right? Okay. What else was nearby? I believe. Okay, so we had the little village, tent village.
Portland International Airport is a joint civil-military airport and the largest airport in the U.S. state of Oregon, accounting for 90% of the state's passenger air travel and more than 95% of its air cargo. It is within Portland city limits just south of the Columbia River in Multnomah County, 6 miles by air and 12 miles by highway northeast of downtown Portland. Portland International Airport is often referred to by its IATA airport code, PDX. The airport covers 3,000 acres of land. Portland International Airport has direct flights and connections to most major airports throughout the United States, and non-stop international flights to Canada, Germany, Japan, Mexico, the Netherlands, Iceland and the United Kingdom. The airport is a hub for Alaska Airlines. It also has a maintenance facility for Alaska Air subsidiary Horizon Air. General aviation services are provided at PDX by Atlantic Aviation. The Oregon Air National Guard has a base on the southwest portion of the airport property grounds, and is also the host unit of the 142nd Fighter Wing, which operates the F-15 Eagle. Local transportation includes the MAX Red Line light rail, which takes passengers between PDX and downtown Portland, as well as farther west to Beaverton. There is also Interstate 205, which connects to southwestern Washington along with many suburbs of Portland.
All right.
Enter left traffic runway 28 Elkin Sierra Echo Alpha, tree 810.
I want to put us down and look up the top best 10 places to eat here. And we're going to take a short little break, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Short break, smoke break, whatever. Escape artist.
The Vancouver Shipyard was an emergency shipyard constructed
Yeah, we heard that.
Columbia River in Vancouver.
You see that?
To help
down there, the boat. I think it's a boat. The escape artist.
The
So we've got El Jefe.
Kaiser Shipyards.
El Jefe and the escape artist. Got a bunch of criminals running around out here.
Dignity Village is a city recognized
Yeah, heard that.
of an estimated 60 homeless people in Portland, Oregon.
I don't know that we'd be able to see this one, but right beyond the airport.
House was the home of Jacob and Lena Zimmerman, German-American settlers who came west over the Oregon Trail in 1851 to what became Multnomah County in the U.S. state of Oregon. Built in 1874, the house was part of a 600-acre dairy farm. Members of the Zimmerman family lived on the farm from 1870 through 1992. The house and 1.58 acres were added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1986. In 1994, the city of Gresham began land acquisition and planning for a 5.98-acre public park, Zimmerman Heritage Farm, with the house as its centerpiece. The city, which owns the land, and the Fairview Rockwood Wilkes Historical Society, which owns the house, manage the Zimmerman Heritage Farm through a partnership. In 1992, the FRWHS acquired the house from Isabel Faith Zimmerman, the youngest granddaughter of the original owners. By late 2006, the society had spent an estimated $170,000 on rebuilding the foundation, upgrading the security system, fixing the porch, repairing the chimneys, replacing the roof and gutters, painting the exterior, and other work. The house is open for public tours on the third Saturday of each month from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Zimmermans were among the 5 founding families of Fairview. They arrived in the Willamette Valley in 1851, settled on Hayden Island in the Columbia River. After floods destroyed their first crops, they relocated to a 320-acre donation land claim about 10 miles east of Portland. In late 1869, Jacob Zimmerman bought another donation land claim and moved into a log cabin on this site until building the original house in 1874. The Zimmerman's son, George, enlarged the farm to 660 acres on which he ran a successful dairy business that continued under several relatives and lessees into the 20th century.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Alpha, tree 810, acknowledge last transmission.
Is R not working as a response?
Kin Sierra Echo Alpha, tree 810, acknowledge last transmission.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Kin Sierra Echo Alpha, tree 810, acknowledge last transmission.
Clear to land runway 28 Elkin Sierra Echo
Invoking my superpowers.
810.
Delta 5, tree 9er contact. Portland departure on 12785. Good day.
A5 Delta 5 tree 9er.
Kin Sierra Echo Alpha, tree 810, turn next taxiway.
Okay.
Kin Sierra Echo Alpha, tree 810, contact ground on 121. 9er.
That is a bug in 2024. Once you land, like communication, hitting the R button doesn't work. You have to use your communication box. So,
Sierra Echo Alpha tree.
if that's happening to you, then yeah, just remember to open this up and do it from here. So we'll burning the trees. Yeah, it's playing. Settle down. But we'll sit here for a minute and stare at Portland traffic and check out the airport for a minute while I look up the top 10 best places to eat around here. Do. Come on. Nearby restaurants. Well, we have gas stations, coffee shops, restaurants, airports, hotels. We could try to find the best gas station. As I bite my tongue, that's telling me right there, don't do it. The best gas station food. They have coffee shops. Okay, restaurants. Coming up on number 1. Trying to show it to you. Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. Number 1, MOES. Oh, good. It's open. Yesterday I was really craving seafood. And then the number 2 is also fish. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's got a lot of S's in it. Hisho Sushi. Famous Dave's Barbecue. I'm always up for barbecue too. La Merced Restaurant Truck. Kobe, sushi, and ramen. Surprisingly, in that last town, way more Mexican. Here's a Mexican. Here's a grill. Don Taco Food Cart. Angel Food Fun. Cha-Cha-Cha Taqueria. Niños Barreria. Okay, so a lot of Mexican here, too. Lots. Elmer's Restaurant, Portland. I liked the sound of that first one. MOES? Seafood American. I love Moeschowder.com. That sounds awesome. I haven't had a big bowl of chowder in a long time. I wonder if they do the traditional where they serve it in like a bread bowl. Ever had that? It's awesome. Website. Not found. Oh, come on, MOES.
Southwest 1887 contact. Portland departure on 12785. Good day.
Da, 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 da. I don't see MOES standing out now.
Going to 127. 85 Southwest 1887.
MOES. No, I don't need to share it. Oh. It's at the airport? We don't even have to leave? Yeah. It's right here at the airport. It's in the airport. And it is right in front of us. Right? There's the tower. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. It's in here. Well, great. Well, unfortunately, the Microsoft is doing maintenance on the career, so can't really do much there for right now. Back over to Bushtalk. What else is around here? Do that house. Couple of cool bridges on the other side of town over there. A sports arena. That's quite a ways to go. Whoa. How do you center your view again? Oh well. Okay. All right, so yeah, I said a bunch of bridges over here. See if I can get the name on some of these. And the University of Portland is right over here. I'm not getting names of bridges.
MOES Center, formerly known as the Rose Garden, is the primary indoor sports arena in Portland, Oregon, United States. It is used for basketball, ice hockey, rodeos, circuses, conventions, ice shows.
That's just right there.
And dramatic productions. The arena has a capacity of 19,393 spectators when configured for basketball. The primary tenant is the Portland Trail Blazers NBA franchise. The other major tenant of the building today is the major junior hockey franchise Portland Winterhawks of the Western Hockey League, which splits its schedule with the Memorial Coliseum next door. In addition to the Blazers and Winterhawks, several other professional sports franchises, and the Portland State University men's basketball team, either currently play home games in MOES Center, or have done so in the past. In addition, MOES Center is a popular venue for concerts and other artistic productions. Construction began in 1993, and the arena opened on October 12, 1995.
Okay. All right, we might as well bring out the D&D dice, see if we can score some tickets to something going on here. It's going to be really tough, just random at the end of the day. It's going to be a DC 17. Nope, not a chance. All right, what else is here? Bushtalk, you're really driving me nuts the way you're acting. I can zoom out. Never mind. Try this. That's a little bit better. Oh, this application, I love it, but it drives me bonkers sometimes the way it functions on a website. It is really hard to keep, for the moment, for me to keep my plane, and I gotta zoom out so far, and then it's hard to click anything. Whoa! That's a Russian radio station in Portland, Oregon. There's a park over there. Provenance Park. Wells Fargo Center. 40-story building. That's it, probably. That's the tallest one. So that's got to be the Wells Fargo building.
Wells Fargo Center is a 40-story, 166.4-meter tower and a 5-story adjacent office building with 3 levels of parking below the surface in Portland, Oregon. The tower became the tallest building in the state of Oregon when it was completed in 1972. Wells Fargo Center contains the regional headquarters of Wells Fargo Bank. The tower is located in downtown Portland, in the block bounded by Southwest 4th and 5th Avenues between Southwest Columbia and Jefferson Streets. A skyway connects the tower to the adjacent 5-story data processing building, which is also part of the Wells Fargo Center. The 40-story building is the tallest building in Oregon, and the third largest office building with 577,339 square feet. The main bank lobby is home to an authentic 1870 stagecoach from Wells Fargo's past. Architectural details include extensive use of marble. There is a total of 60,000 square feet of white Italian marble, 3/4 inch thick. The exterior of the building has columns of bronze-tinted glass, white Italian marble, and anodized aluminum running the entire height of the building.
Солнечным дням на земле. Короче, скажу вам, дети.
Wow. Do.
Providence Park is an outdoor soccer venue in the Northwest United States, located in the Goose Hollow neighborhood of Portland, Oregon. It has existed in rudimentary form since 1893, and as a complete stadium since 1926. Providence Park is currently the oldest soccer-specific stadium in use in MLS and is one of the most historic grounds used by any United States professional soccer team. Two professional soccer teams, the Portland Timbers of MLS and Portland Thorns FC of NWSL, use the facility as their home pitch. In 1926, the facility was expanded into a complete stadium, including the upper seating bowl and the wooden benches which can still be found in the park. In 1956, the stadium was renovated in earnest for the first time to reflect its growing usage in the community, and in 1966, the city purchased the stadium and renamed it Civic Stadium. In 2014, the name was changed again to Providence Park after Providence Health and Services bought the naming rights. A 2019 expansion raised the capacity to 25,218 and added a multi-level facade to the east side.
Okay. All right. Well, we're here, so why don't we have ourselves a soccer match? All right. And these people have been at it forever, and they're really, really good at it. So this is going to be another one that's going to be almost impossible to win. Let's see if I've got anybody streaming currently watching. Nope. Oh, and I had 6 people up at one point, and I missed you. So I could have had a +6. We would have won this. All right, so now it's us against their local team, and it's going to be another DC 18. So we've got to get over an 18 to have any chance of winning. A 9. Nope. No. You know, they're kind to us, and we did okay, but that's pretty much a butt whooping right there. Hey, you know what? I also noticed when we were flying in over here is that right next door they've got a track and field area. Let's go throw some shot put or a javelin or run a race or do something fun over here. I love playing football, so this would be great. All right, so flag football game. I'm getting old. Can't do tackle anymore. So our team against their team. And somebody tuned in? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to make this a 12. We're getting old. An 8. Nope. We didn't even win the... You know, we don't win the football match. We haven't won much today. We've been really lucky in the last few days with our gaming and any of that stuff. We've been just dominating. But nope, not today. Today is just keeping us nice and humble. Okay, folks. Well, we haven't got anything back from Microsoft saying that the career mode is open to us. So that is going to go ahead and do it for today. And I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Mount St. Helens and the lake, Spirit Lake, and Adams Mountain, the other scary volcano thing. And then we shot over and we checked out those wetlands, and we learned about a Native American settlement in the area. And we flew that way, and we went over to the shipyards. The bad guys did roll on us today, and they did mess up the pitot tube, but we didn't really do much flying. And, yeah, we had some wonderful audio tours from Bushtalk Radio today, so thank you as always, Bushtalk folks. And that'll wrap it up for today. So I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully later today, just off camera, I'll try to do another career or figure out what our next place is going to be. I don't think I need to open the map. I think I've opened up enough places that should be easy to find something. Okay. Hasta mañana, as they say. Oh, I'm hungry. Let's go to MOES. This show not brought to you by Dinty Moore.